The cardiovascular system. What does the circulatory system do? Well, it delivers oxygen and nutrients to the body tissue and transport hormones around the body. It also removes carbon dioxide and other waste materials from your body. As your heart beats, it pumps blood into your lungs. And when the blood is in your lungs, it picks up oxygen and carries it to other parts of the body. And as you breathe out, your body releases carbon dioxide out of the blood. Blood. What does the blood do exactly? Blood is actually a delivery and removal system. Blood is used to transport nutrients and oxygen to different cells in the body. It delivers hormones and removes carbon dioxide and other waste materials from the body. Blood also works to regulate body temperature and helps to heal and fight infections. There are two types of blood cells. The red blood cells, also called erythrocytes, deliver oxygen and nutrients and remove waste and carbon dioxide. And then there are also white blood cells called leukocytes, which work to fight infections and heal wounds when you get cut. The red blood cells are the little concaved ones, circles in the picture there, and the white blood cells are they almost look like little snowballs that you eat, those little snowball material, things. Anyway, they're pretty cool looking. Platelets. Platelets are very small cell fragments that work to help clot your blood when you get a cut. They join together when they spot an injured blood vessel. The joining of the platelets creates a blood clot, which stops you from bleeding to death. Arteries. Arteries are important blood vessels that work to transport oxygenated blood from the heart to all parts of the body. The largest artery in the body is the aorta, and the smallest type of artery is called an arteriole, which sounds funny. This is important in the process of microcirculation. Now we're going to talk about veins. Okay, so once your blood gets pumped through your arteries, it enters the arterioles and then into the capillaries, which are the very smallest blood vessels. And then it goes into the venules, little tiny veins, and then into the regular sized veins where it gets pumped back into your heart through the vena cava. Within the veins, there are very small valves that go only in one direction. This works to make sure that there's no backflow of blood. If there is a backflow of blood due to faulty veins, this can result in varicose veins. And there's a couple pictures down below here you can look at. Plasma. Plasma is the liquid portion of your blood. It's supposed to be straw colored. The plasma transports blood cells around the body. It also maintains blood volume and blood pressure. It supplies proteins for blood clotting and immunity, and it transports sodium and potassium throughout the body. And it also works to maintain pH balance in the body. Capillaries. Capillaries are the smallest of all the blood vessels. They connect the arterioles and the venules together. The capillaries are very small, only 1 cell thick. The job of the capillaries is to transport nutrients, oxygen, and other fluids into the tissue. They also collect carbon dioxide and waste materials and transport them to the veins, which transport them to the lungs where they are expelled. Basically, the capillaries work to exchange materials between the circulatory system and the cells of the body. So now we're going to go over the anatomy of the heart and how the blood flows through the heart and the different chambers and stuff. First, we're going to talk about the vena cava. There's a superior vena cava and an inferior vena cava. The vena cava are two large veins that carry deoxygenated blood, which is blood that lacks oxygen, from the body to the heart. The superior vena cava carries blood from the upper parts of the body, such as the brain, to the heart, and the inferior vena cava carries blood from the lower parts of the body, such as the legs, to the heart. As your blood flows from the upper and lower parts of the body through the vena cava, it is dumped into the right atrium, which is one of the superior chambers of the heart. The right atrium is here. We can see the little blood specks I put in there to kind of show how the blood's going to move through the body. The tricuspid valve is located between the upper right atrium and the lower right ventricle. It is also called the atrioventricular valve because it is connected to both the chambers. The job of the tricuspid valve is to prevent the backflow of blood from the ventricle back into the atrium. Your blood is supposed to only flow in one direction. The tricuspid valve has 3 cusps on it. The right ventricle is the lower chamber of the heart located on the right side underneath the right atrium. As the blood flows from the right atrium through the tricuspid valve, it is dumped into the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, the blood is passed through the pulmonary valve into the pulmonary artery, where it is passed into your lungs. I would like to note that the veins in the body are always labeled blue because the blood that is returning to the heart through the veins lacks oxygen. The arteries are always labeled red because the blood is being pumped away from the heart and is oxygenated due to picking up oxygen from the lungs before being pumped back into the body. In this case, though, the pulmonary veins are red and the pulmonary arteries are blue. This is because the pulmonary veins pump blood back into the heart from the lungs after it picks up oxygen, therefore it is red. The pulmonary arteries are blue because it is pumping deoxygenated blood back into the lungs. Arteries always pump away from the heart. A little confusing, but if you read it a couple times, you'll understand it. This picture is a little bit better about showing the pulmonary veins and how they enter the lungs. So as you breathe in, oxygen enters the lungs through your trachea and gets transported into the bloodstream through the alveoli. Alveoles are kind of like little grape-like structures. They look like little grapes and they hold the air. As you breathe out, the carbon dioxide leaves the bloodstream through the alveoli. So that's like a transmission area, kind of swaps oxygen for carbon dioxide and waste material. After the blood flows through the lungs and picks up oxygen, it is then pumped through the pulmonary veins, which are red in this diagram due to the blood being oxygenated now. It is then pumped into the heart and is dumped into the left atrium. After the blood flows through the lungs and picks up oxygen, it is then pumped through the pulmonary veins, which are red in this diagram, due to carrying due to From the left atrium, the blood travels through the mitral valve and into the left ventricle. Once the blood has reached the left ventricle, it is ready to travel through the aortic valve, which is located at the top of the ventricle. A little tough to see, but it's there. The aortic valve is a little bit hard to see, as I said, in this picture, but it connects the aorta and the left ventricle. The aorta is the largest artery in the body. The heart pumps blood through the aorta with so much pressure that it is able to circulate the blood through the whole body. Now we have the pericardium. The pericardium is a two-layered membrane that surrounds the heart. This is where the great vessels of the heart are stored. It's kind of like a protector of the heart muscle. The myocardium is located underneath the pericardium, and it is an involuntary muscle that is responsible for the heart's contractions. The septum of the heart is muscular tissue that separates the right and left ventricles. The chordae tendineae is also known as the heartstrings. They are made of cord-like tendons that unite the papillary muscles to the tricuspid and mitral valves within the heart. Now we have the sinoatrial node. The sinoatrial node is located in the upper portion of the right atrium. It is also known as the SA node, the SAN node, or the sinus node. The SA node is the natural pacemaker of the heart. It is responsible for generating the normal rhythm of the heart. Then we have the sinoatrial node. We also have the atrioventricular node. The atrioventricular node, also called the AV node, is a part of the electrical system of the heart. Its job is to coordinate the top portion of the heart. Through electrical means, it connects the ventricle and the ventricular and atrial chambers. It conducts an electrical impulse from the atria to the ventricles. Connected to that is the atrioventricular bundle. The atrioventricular bundle, also known as the bundle of His, is a collection of fibrous tissue located within the septum. This tissue works to carry electrical impulses from the atrium through the septum and to the ventricles. This is what causes a contraction or the heartbeat. When the AV node and the sinoatrial node and the AV bundle work together, your heart beats. It creates a contraction. Thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any other questions or comments, please have nice ones. I don't want to hear any mean ones. Or video requests, leave me a message and I'll work on that. Thank you.